Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. We did a special show today, and we have a special follow-up today right here on this edition where we talked about how to become a better you, or the best you that you can be in 2018. And as always, you should go to shrimptankpodcast.com or go to iTunes. Make sure that you download us so you can hear all the great shows. We're going to bring on another 50 fabulous entrepreneurs here in 2018 on the Shrimp Tank. As always, joined by my co-host every week, Chris Hanks, who's the executive director and founder of the Shore Center for Entrepreneurship. And we had Lee Heisman, who is on with us today. Of course, our trilogy here, bringing to you these amazing shows here on the Shrimp Tank.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun for me to sort of dive in. As I mentioned on the show, both of you have done something that very few entrepreneurs do, start a business from nothing, grow it to something, and then have the businesses actually work for you as opposed to you work for it, and you've done it multiple times. So it's fascinating to dive into the content. And one of the things that came up on the show, and Lee, I wanted you to dive in a little bit more about the idea of, there's a lot of talk about being customer focused and customers always come first, but you had a different take on that.
Sure. No, Chris, it's true. We've had over 100 episodes here in Atlanta and 200 nationally for the Shrimp Tank. And
crazy.
You hear consistently from CEOs and entrepreneurs and owners of businesses how customer first. And I will tell you that my organization, Savant, the organization itself does put customers first, Chris. There's no question we wouldn't be in business if we didn't. But my role as CEO and owner of the business, it's not as though I'm not putting customers first. However, I put my employees first. I know how hard it is to create culture and an environment where people want to work. And, it's those people at the company that are creating the company itself. So most of my energy and focus is on my employees. I put them first. I make sure their needs are taken care of because in turn, they will thus take care of my clients. So that's really where most of my energy and effort is put, to my employees. Again, not dismissing the customers, and I'll take calls 24/7, but my proactive thought, when I have free time, I am thinking of my employees and what I can do best for them. Ted, we talked a lot on the show as well about 2018 and some great tips for entrepreneurs. I know you had an amazing tip of what's made you successful over the years and what you plan on doing even more in 2018.
Yeah, for entrepreneurs that are watching this, one of the big things is that you have to become an avid goal setter. And this is not something that you say to your family. It's not something that you dream up in your head, but goals that you actually put down on paper, and then you review them on a regular basis. And this is really important because once you have a goal, then a goal can turn into a plan. And once you have a plan, then the plan will turn into work. And that work goes in your calendar, and then you can execute against it. And everyone that I've seen that has been successful, that I've met over the careers, whether they are a high C-suite type level executive or there's somebody that owns a company, ends up being an avid goal setter. So every single year I will set goals. And this is not only professional goals and financial goals, but it's also your personal goals as well. If you're having a lackluster time in seeing your family more, then make that a goal. But once those goals are set in paper, you'll be a lot more effective in what you do.
That's awesome. Well, Chris, KSU, first school in the state of Georgia to get a degree in entrepreneurship, 3 years in existence. What are your plans for 2018?
So, tying into the goal, there's in thinking through where we've been and how fast we've grown, I've learned the lesson that bigger is not always better. And a lot of times we, as leaders, we get motivated by progress, right? We want to go and we want to add versus the idea is okay, are the things that we're adding, do they really matter? Are they creating significance? Would the world care if it went away? A lot of times we think what we're doing matters, but then if we stop doing it, maybe a few people notice. Mm-hmm. And so part of our goal is look, everything that we do, we want it to be transformational. I know you love that word.
I do.
And we want to create significance with it. So, the idea of teaching entrepreneurship is becoming increasingly commoditized, but the how you do it is where you can differentiate and create a culture around it. So we want to do it in a way that really changes the way people think and act with everything that we do with our students, everything we do with the other educators we help in entrepreneurship, and the things that we do with business owners.
Well, folks, Chris has done amazing stuff at Kennesaw State University and now the Shore Center for Entrepreneurship. For folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up today, how can they become part of the program? How can they get involved with the kids and the future entrepreneurs of tomorrow, or get involved with the Shore Center of Entrepreneurship?
Yeah, well, a disclaimer before I throw it out there. If you get involved or if other people get involved, for some of us it becomes addicting. That's how I got involved in teaching. I was an entrepreneur who fell into teaching, being around the students and helping other people create dreams and actually live those out is an amazing thing. You can go to kennesaw.edu and /EC for Entrepreneurship Center, or you can just Google Kennesaw State University Entrepreneurship.
Folks, here's the question to ask yourself on the post-show wrap-up today. If you had a good year last year and you're 40 years old or 35 or 45 or even 55, are you really the best you that you are today, or will there be a better version of you 5 years from now? Only time will tell, but if you listen to the podcast that we did today and take some of those tips and techniques and implement them into your business, you can be the best entrepreneur that you can be right here in 2018. And that's the post-show wrap-up here on The Shrimp Tank.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond.